Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams. I know niggas who played ball and gave it up for lean.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams, but my account in overdraft, I'm about to scream.
Rich man greed,
A poor man prayers,
every man bleeds.
but look how God made us.
Too many losses, it's only right that we win. Yeah, I made a promise I'm never gonna lose again.
Under the Fair Use Act, these videos are for information and educational purposes, and I do not own the rights to any of these videos that are shown. All rights reserved to the original content creators.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy SL550, and this is the Never Gonna Lose Again podcast. Today, man, we got a few things to talk about. Very, very, very interesting things, man. So, let me make sure really fast that I have this audio correct real quick. All right. So, before we start, man, make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel. Help your boy on the road to monetization. Yeah, man, your boy trying to get monetized, and I truly, truly do appreciate everybody who is tapped in with your boy already. But we're looking to get to that 500 mark so I can get monetized, man. So help your boy out and hit that subscribe button, man. Also, hit that notification bell so you get notified every time your boy drop a dope video, man. Yo, bro, what's going on in America, man? It's like, yo, it's getting crazy out here, man. So the basis of this live today is just going to talk about, I'm kind of stuck on this whole Israel thing right now. I kind of went down a rabbit hole. I got a few videos that I want to show, but it's so much more. I'll link some videos that you should watch and just, you form your own opinion. But to me, this stuff is deep. And I've always said on many issues that when it comes to politics and when it comes to these things that are going on between Republicans and Democrats, it's always bigger than what, the average American thinks it is. It's just the truth, bro. You know what I mean? Like, this shit is wild, bro. You know what I mean? So right now, I just want to play a short video, right, by Devin Gibson. Shout out to him. Go subscribe to his channel, man. Whether I agree, I'm not saying I don't agree with him, but I'm saying whether I agree with people or not, right? Because I'm starting to not really fuck with Officer Tatum, but there are some things I do agree with him on. So, at the end of the day, I'm still going to shout out his channel and anybody's channel that I post videos from, because at the end of the day, I'm still, I'm still supportive of people, their hustles, and what they do, even though we may disagree on some things. So today, I will be disagreeing with Officer Tatum for sure. But before we get into Israel and that whole rabbit hole, I want to play this video because right now, the Democrats, which are blaming it on the Republicans, is basically pushing for a government shutdown if they don't have this revision on illegal immigrants. They are so in love with illegal immigrants. It is crazy to me. I just don't understand it, bro. I just don't understand it. Like, why are they going so hard for illegal immigration in America when we know for sure, and I'm going to show you through Devin Gibson, how much of a hypocrite these people truly are, bro. Like, they don't truly believe in the things that they are talking about. So you got to ask yourself the question, and you should always ask this question whenever you have even a little smidge of doubt about something somebody is saying. Why? Why are they pushing this so hard? Why is this becoming so much of a big issue in America? Like, I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it. But anyway, let's get into this video proving that the left, the Democratic Party, are hypocrites when it comes to this whole immigration thing. And they're literally pushing for a government shutdown because of it. You know, it's insane, man. It's so insane. Let's get into this video, though.
As to illegal aliens, we agree with you that we do not think the comprehensive health care benefits should be extended to those who are undocumented workers and illegal aliens. We do not want to do anything to encourage more illegal immigration in.
Hold on, is this Hillary Clinton? Not the good old Hillary Clinton. Oh, no.
This country. We know now that too many people come in for medical care as it is. We certainly don't want them having the same benefits that American citizens are entitled to have.
All
base.
Americans,
What they say, base.
not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more, by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes, to better identify illegal aliens in the workplace, as recommended by the commission headed by former Congresswoman Barbara Jordan. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws.
Hold on. This kind of sounds so familiar. It's kind of starting to sound like logic.
It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
I do agree.
The fourth challenge is to take back our streets from crime, gangs, and drugs. And we have actually been making progress on this count as a nation because of what local law enforcement officials are doing, because of what citizens and neighborhood patrols are doing. We're making some progress. Much of it is related to the initiative called community policing, because we have finally gotten more police officers on the street. That was one of the goals that the president had when he pushed the crime bill that was passed in 1994. He promised 100,000 police. We're moving in that direction.
Are you talking about the crime bill? That was the cause of so many black folks being arrested and locked up and locked away and the key thrown away.
But we can see it already makes a difference, because if we have more police interacting with people, having them on the streets, we can prevent crimes. We can prevent petty crimes from turning into something worse. But we also have to have an organized effort against gangs. Just as in a previous generation we had an organized effort against the mob. We need to take these people on. They are often connected to big drug cartels. They are not just gangs of kids anymore. They are often the kinds of kids that are called super predators. No conscience, no empathy. We can talk about why they ended up that way, but first we have to bring them to heel. And the president has asked the FBI to launch a very concerted effort against gangs everywhere.
Broken borders. That's an oxymoron, something we can't tolerate.
Is that Nancy Pelosi?
Borders.
Not Nancy.
Of their nature, our definition as a nation and our protection as a country. Broken borders, they don't exist. We can't tolerate them. So let's say from the start that we all in this body, and I know I can speak very firmly for the Democrats, support strong border control. And it must be part,
borders.
and the first part, of any comprehensive immigration reform.
Damn.
We have, it is our obligation as elected officials to keep the American people safe, and our borders are our first line of defense, one of our early lines of defense to do that. Democrats support also enforcing laws, current laws, against those who came here illegally and those who hire illegal immigrants.
Would you allow these cities to ignore the federal law regarding the reporting of illegal immigrants and, in fact, provide sanctuary to these immigrants?
The reason the cities ignore the federal law is the fact that there is no funding at the federal level to provide for the kind of enforcement at the federal level you need. Pick up the New York Times today. There's a city not far across the river from my state that imposed the similar sanctions. And what they found out is, as a consequence of that, their city went in the dumps, in the dumpster. Stores started closing. Everything started to happen. And they changed the policy. Part of the problem is you have to have a federal government that can enforce laws. This administration has been fundamental.
This Joe Biden, he's just like so sharp. You see him? Where's the stutter at that they were talking about? They said he had a bad stutter, and that he slipped his words a little bit. You know? He sounds so sharp, and he sounds like he knows what he's talking about.
Fundamentally derelict in not funding any of the requirements that are needed even to enforce the existing law.
So, Senator Biden, yes or no, would you allow the cities to ignore the federal law?
No.
Okay.
So I think we got to have tough conditions. Tell people to come out of the shadows. If they've committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked. They're gone. If they've been working and are law-abiding, we should say, here are the conditions for you staying. You have to pay a stiff fine because you came here illegally. You have to pay back taxes, and you have to try to learn English, and you have to wait in line.
You gotta wait in line.
Ripping families apart. It's not the first time this country has done this. And this is why it's important that as black and brown folks we stand together. Because I come from a lineage which this country ripped black mothers and black fathers away from black children to build this capitalistic society. And they're doing it again. As I've said before, this is not hyperbolic. There are those in this country who still believe that the Civil War went the wrong way.
Come on now, dog.
Come on now, dog.
Come on, man.
And I just want immigrant community, whether you're documented or not, that this country has done these type of acts before, and that there are people who understand that. And because we do understand that, it's why I'm able to stand so boldly and so firmly in opposition to what this government is doing. Ripping families apart while abdicating their responsibility to actually fix our broken immigration system.
Well, members of Chicago's law enforcement community are taking offense with a comment.
They literally said, right? I had this debate with somebody about the borders, and they brung up the same old talking point. Oh, Donald Trump, he blocked the bill that would help with the immigration problem. Do you know that not just Republicans, but even Democrats blocked that bill? That Donald Trump actually had nothing to do with the bill being blocked because the bill was a shitty bill? Did you read the bill? Well, no, I didn't read the bill. Did you read the bill? Yes, I read the bill. And that's what you got to do as a person that wants to be informed on issues that are going on. It might be in your best interest to actually do some research and not just believe everything that the Lion legacy media says. Because that's the problem with most people in America today, is that they're lazy and hey, maybe it's just too much work. Maybe it's just, it's just out of their comfort zone, maybe. I don't know. But all I know is that all you got to do is a little bit of research. You know what I mean? Just a little bit. Devin Gibson did a little bit of research and showed you clips. I told you, man, social media, AI, the internet will be the downfall to these people, these lying-ass motherfuckers.
Made by Mayor Brandon Johnson. Earlier this week, he said in part, quote, jails and incarceration and law enforcement is a sickness.
During a press conference on Tuesday, Mayor Brandon Johnson was responding to a question about how to make Chicagoans feel safer in their communities.
The fact of the matter is we are driving violence down on this city, and we're using every single resource that's available to us. Jails and incarceration and law enforcement is a sickness that has not led to safe communities.
What? Hey, yo, do you know in foreign, like a lot of the safest countries are safe because the penalties for crimes are so high that people just say, you know what, I don't even want to do crimes. Like the fact of the matter is that the crime that is going on in America is happening because people know they're just going to get out, bro. I've seen it, wallahi, with my own eyes. I've seen it. I've seen it. I've been locked up in jail when they passed the cash bail, no cash bail shit. People were like excited. Yo, I'm getting out tomorrow. Like I ain't even sweating it. Da, da, da. Like, bro, the system is corrupt, dog. It's corrupt, bro. These people, and he sounds so convincing. He sounds like he actually cares.
Law enforcement alone does not keep communities safe.
Me personally, I wouldn't take this level of disrespect.
Law enforcement agrees with me on that.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
How do you send police officers into communities when there's little access to affordable housing?
Oh my God. Tired of this bullshit. I'm tired of it. The fuck does housing have to do with crime, Goofy? They don't even go together. He could have at least picked some shit that goes together. Like you was better off just saying, you know, when the inner cities lacked, you know, resources to education. Because we know that the lack of education is one of the things that's, you know, the reasons why people ultimately commit crimes, because the lack of information. You was better off using that. This motherfucker said the lack of housing. Motherfuckers got the lack of affordable housing, so they out here committing crime. Woo.
What is a police officer's responsibility to hunger?
What's wrong with you people?
We have to realize the Democrats, their whole argument is we are going to shut down the government unless you give $1 trillion for medical benefits for illegal aliens. The major healthcare reform that we've done.
$1 trillion? Yo, these motherfuckers is crazy. They want us to pay $1 trillion to illegal healthcare. Yo, they smoking hella coke. Like they smoking big 8 balls.
This administration is we've made it harder to give your hard-earned tax dollars to medical benefits for illegal aliens. The Democrats want to undo that. And they're saying that unless you give that money to those illegal aliens, unless you give those benefits to those illegal aliens, we are going to shut down the people's government. It's such a stark contrast between two parties' priorities. We want to put the government to work for the American people first. The Democrats want to shut down the government because we won't give free benefits to illegal aliens. It's such a good, again, contrast for what the Democrats stand for and what Republicans stand for. We're not going to be taken hostage by the Democrats' desperate desire to give your tax money to illegal aliens. We're just not going to do it.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. I thank you, Jesus. I thank you, Jesus. Oh, oh.
All right, man. That's pretty much the video, man. Shout out to Devin Gibson. We get the point, my guy. We get the point. Motherfuckers is in the way. Just straight hypocrites, bro. I just don't get it, bro. I don't get it. Like, why? Like, they are going so hard when we know this is not how they truly feel, bro. You really think that? Yo, it's so funny. You see them videos with like the N.G.L.A boys, right? When they had went to people's houses asking them to sign a petition to help immigrants or some shit. And they like basically asked this lady so you wouldn't mind supporting illegal immigration, basically. And you know how they put it, but that's basically what they're saying. And she was like, "Oh yeah, we definitely support it." And then he got on the walkie-talkie. It was like, yeah, I think we got one. Bring them in." And then the motherfucking bus pulled up with all, like illegal immigrants in it. I don't know if they was actually illegal immigrants, but it was like part of the show or whatever. And then the lady's like, "Oh, what's that? Oh no, you said that you want to help. You want to help illegal immigrants. We got some illegal immigrants right here. They're gonna move in with you." That bitch ran in the crib so quick. But it's the truth though, bro. You seen what happened when they dropped them off in I forget who did that, but they dropped illegal immigrants off in Martha's Vineyard. They got them out of there so quick, bro. They're hypocrites. They're hypocrites. Of course, it's so easy to support something with money that you that ain't yours. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, you gotta ask yourself, why are they shitting on America so bad? You know what I'm saying? No matter what, bro, even if you disagree with things, and I disagree with things that America does, right? But I still live here. Like, so I do care about the interests of America because I live here. I'm from here, you know? Like, so it's like kind of like very smart and intelligent. Like, if you're just like America first, like, I think that would be like kind of dope, especially if you live here. I mean, shit, you live here. Like, you're a citizen. Like, why not like choose America, like, pretty much over everything else? Just saying. Anyway, let's get into some, so I want to get into this whole Israel thing, man, and let's go down the rabbit hole and let's just talk about it, you know? Let's talk about it. So I want to play this quick short to just kind of set the tone on how these, Jews feel about people who are speaking out against them. So let's get straight into it. We're not even going to play with it. We're going to get straight into it. Let's get it.
You're alluding to Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, I don't like any of these anti-Semites, and I'm not shy about it.
Why do you support Israel against us, for example? Why do you support America giving them billions of dollars?
Well, I don't. I don't want the United States involved in anything that's morally indefensible or counter to its own interests.
We're not going to win their hearts and minds because they don't have hearts and they don't have minds.
What has happened to the children and the women of Palestine is a perfect act of evil, and I will not support it. I will not support it because I am a Christian.
In the specific case of Israel, I hate the fact that civilians are killed with American weapons. I hate it. I hate it in Gaza.
There's no reason to think we're ever going to convince them, but we can put them in jail. We can make their lives miserable. We can cut off their funding.
This is my country. My birthright is free speech. And if you're telling me what I'm allowed to say in my country, you're my enemy.
I'm not gonna bend the knee to Israel. I will never bend the knee to evil.
So basically, if you pretty much speak out against Israel, you're called anti-Semitic, and you're like in the way. You're like in the way, and they want to get you out of the way. So the number one question is, why? Why do they want to get you out of the way? So interesting. So let's continue setting the tone before we dive deeper into this whole fucking crazy thing. Anyway, this is the Hot Twins with Dan Bilzerian. I think I'm saying it right. And they're going to talk about something very interesting. So let's just get right into it, man.
The idea of Judeo-Christian values, when one group thinks that, and not just one group, it's not just the Christians that think that Jesus was a great man. Well, they think he's God or whatever, but the Muslims, they think that Jesus was a great prophet.
Hold on, because he's on to something. I like this guy already. He's on to something, because I just always be trying to understand why Christians make it seem as if Islam is against Jesus, or Isa, as we call him, right? When we're not. We love Isa. Alayhi salam. We love him. We love him. But they'll make you think that we don't. And that's a lie. But let's get more into it.
So these two religions are actually like pretty similar. One thinks he's God, one thinks he's a great prophet, but either way, it's, the majority of the world thinks that Jesus is a great man. It's only the Jews that don't. They're literally like the only ones that think he was a piece of shit.
Well, they killed him, right? Them and the Romans, right?
Well, they definitely killed him for sure. Well, they ordered it. I mean, it's kind of like, if the president orders an assassination, the president killed you, not the person that like shows up at your door, right? Like, it's not the guy that was like wielding the axe, the guy that told the guy wielding the axe to kill you. So, the Jews definitely killed Jesus. It's unequivocal. And the weird thing is that was just like undisputed, agreed upon knowledge until recently. And I remember it was like, I don't know how many years ago, but not that long ago, I just like Googled, did the Jews kill Jesus? And it was like 14 articles saying no. And it's like, what? Like the Bible.
It's very interesting. But what's crazy, right? Because this really, like I said, man, I wasn't really getting into this. And then like the fact that Officer Tatum specifically kept talking about Muslims. And listen, I understand we live in America where pretty much everybody has been brainwashed to think that Islam is bad and Muslims are terrorists. And so it's understandable to, get that reaction from people. So I'm not mad at that part. But, right? But. I see a guy like Officer Tatum, right, who talks about being a Christian, right? Like, he truly believes in Christianity. That's his faith. Like, he hates Islam. He said that's the number one threat to America. Now, in some cases, I can say that is true. When you see the conflicts and you go back and you see the history and I can see that. That's a good argument. But, right, why are you going so hard for the Jews when they are the ones who crucified your God? Jesus is your God. They crucified him. But yet I see this guy. He literally did a whole video with Bibi Netanyahu. And then you know what? I'm going to get into that after this. But anyway, that's a great point. It's a great point that, when you look into religion, like we're all not far off, to be honest. And that's the reason why, we believe that everybody really truly believes in the one God. But that's another story. But they make a good point. They did crucify Jesus. So it's so crazy how hard this guy is going for Israel and the Jews. It is crazy.
People says it like, wait, what are you guys talking about? It's crazy. And then, you look, it's like Google is Jewish owned. AI is Jewish owned. It's like all these things like OpenAI, like all this stuff. And so you just get really like biased information. But even with that biased information, you can still find the truth.
Yeah, right. You can.
And the truth is that, they think Jesus is a piece of shit. And
now Jesus, he was Jew, right? He was a Jew, right?
Well, so he, that's kind of disputed. I think he was more of a Palestinian than a Jew. I mean,
well, that makes a lot of sense now.
Yeah.
Well, they're all Semites. Yeah. Palestinians, the Jews that were there in that era, they're Semitic. Well, it explains why they hate him so much, Keith. He's Palestinian.
Exactly.
Hey, do you have a
So this is a video and it says Christian women are spat on, kicked, whipped, verbally abused, and have their dress dragged for talking about Jesus in Israel. Interesting.
So these are the kids acting like this.
So these are the kids.
Like, ain't this crazy? You got children. Remember I said this. Everything that people pretty much stand on and believe in their faiths is mostly taught. It's mostly taught. So these kids are taught to hate, I guess, Christianity. That's crazy.
So obviously they're being taught this from a young age. You know, this is not something they just like woke up and like, oh, we hate Christians.
Facts.
They're taught to hate Christians.
Yeah.
Right.
Look how aggressive they are.
And the owners.
They are literally ready to cut the throats of these women. These are boys doing this to women, children.
That is nuts.
Crazy.
It's tradition, though, guys.
It's tradition, huh? Well, that's why they despise her, because she's a Christian.
Yeah.
Goofy.
They're hitting her, kicking her. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I've seen them slap Christians in the face. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
Let us leave. Let us leave.
They said, how dare you film us?
He said, don't incite people. Just standing there. What is this?
Hey, yo.
Oh, they took somebody's cross and they're like stepping on it.
Look.
Judeo-Christian values.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What is Judeo-Christian values? I'm like, they hate Christians.
Yeah.
Hey, it's bugging me. I didn't know.
So that's
that y'all brought up the fact that Trump.
Oh, he tucked him in. Put your trap on.
Can I see that?
Oh, this
I
one's
couldn't
gonna
believe
piss
when
you
I
off.
saw
You
that.
haven't seen this yet?
I have not seen this.
Get ready to be angry. This one's gonna piss you off more than the spitting. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Anything else I can do for you?
That is crazy. What are people saying in the? Oh, it's not that many comments.
Well, it's just one clip, but the clip like went everywhere.
Yeah, it's absurd. I called this though.
Yeah.
I said this before the election. I was like, everybody thinks that, Trump is going to be this great savior. And, he's obviously going to be much better than Kamala for sure. But people will just blindly follow him. That's the scary part about Trump, is that people will blindly follow him a lot further than Kamala. Yeah. So, if Kamala wanted to just basically take over Gaza and do all this stuff, people would be like, fuck that. Who's behind this? They start asking a lot more questions. They're going to blindly follow him a lot further. So I don't know.
You think he's going to be successful in taking over Gaza Strip?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I just think that's such a disaster. But
even if he did turn into a river area, that's like a prime spot to commit a terrorist attack.
I just don't think that's any of our business. It's like, it's Palestinian land. It's like we're in NATO, so we should be following like NATO. You can't just steal land. Like, that's not a thing.
Right.
Exactly.
And that was like one of the reasons why we established NATO, is to like stop people. It's like otherwise the bigger countries can just go.
So that was pretty much what I wanted to show in that video, right? Now, I wanted to hold on real quick. I want to play this little video real fast. Interesting. And it kind of correlates with yesterday, a video I played with I believe it was President Truman, but it was interesting. So let me play this.
I also antagonized a lot of people by recognizing the state of Israel as soon as it was formed. Well, I had been to Potsdam, and I'd seen some of the...
So I want you to pay attention to words. Words. He said, we recognize Israel as soon as it was formed, which means it's not like, well, it's pretty much just like most land, including America, that, this is conquered land. This wasn't their land. You know what I mean? Like, the Jews weren't in Israel, what's known as Israel today. They were not there.
Places where the Jews had been slaughtered by the Nazis. 6 million Jews were killed outright, men, women, and children, by the Nazis. And it was my hope that they would have a homeland where they could operate. So when the time came for that, we set up the Israeli government in Palestine, moved some of the Arabs out, and they were not moved out and thrown out.
See how he had to fix that? See how he had to fix that? Let's rewind that a little bit. He had to fix that. He said they weren't thrown out. Hold on, let me fix that.
Thrown out. They thrown out.
My
They
bad.
were not moved out and thrown out. They were compensated for the land that they had to give up. The Jews organized a government.
If they were compensated and this was a fair deal, or this was a fair shake in their direction, right? Also, then why have they been going to war with Israel for all of these years? And why were they literally right outside of Israel, set up in these camps, if that was the case?
Over there, and it's been a successful one ever since. They've done things over there that never have been done in that part of the world before. And while it's a small republic, it's an energetic one. Not long ago, they had a fuss with Egypt. And if they hadn't been interfered with by the then President of the United States, Nasser would have been down in the Sudan where he belongs. That won't help diplomatic relations.
So I just wanted to play that just real quick. It was something like, because the whole point of me playing that was the fact that this isn't land that, you know, it was stolen land. It was stolen land, bro. Like, it's just what it is. So, you know, it's an all-out war on Muslims in Palestine. And like, I wasn't really too into this. You know, obviously I knew very little about it, but now I'm just like I told you, bro, the thing that got me into this was Officer Tatum, because his hate for Islam, it blows my shit. Knowing that you know nothing about Islam, bro, at all, bro. Islam is a beautiful religion because a few extremists, say Allahu Akbar and blow themselves up and do these acts of terrorism, right? Which they can say about America, which they can say about Israel, which they can say about Russia, which they can say about China, which they can say about North Korea, any country. These governments do shady shit. Just a fact. You know what I'm saying? But the war on Islam is crazy to me. And I've always felt this way. And it was one of the things that pushed me towards Islam, to be honest, to just know about it. And the craziest part is, bro, when you remember what Dan Bilzerian said. He said that, like, they're not far off in their belief systems. And it's the truth. Like, when you read the Bible, even when you read the Torah, not the Talmud, because that's way different. That was something that's like way, way different. But the Quran also, you see that all of these religions are very, very, very similar. You know, the same prophets, the same pretty much storyline structure. And you got to ask yourself, like, okay, if they're so, why are they so similar? Why, but instead of people in looking into these things and doing your own research, it's just basically everything is based off pretty much where you're from, really, So here in America, most people are Christians, Yeah, we got pretty much every nationality here, but the number one is Christianity. And obviously Islam is a threat because the second religion behind Christianity, and it's the fastest growing religion. And that's because people are becoming more, involved in the truth. And that's what you do. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic that I probably would never get into because that's just, I don't know. But anyway, let's get into this next video. This is Candace Owens on damn. Oh shit, I forgot this man's name. That's crazy. Anyway, let's get into it.
You connect a lot of dots between like Israel and media, right? But do you think that it's just capitalism? Like, don't you think a lot of times it's just business, and that's how business works, is that they're, like it's one of the side effects of capitalism.
If that were the case, so the reason why this is different is because Israel is actually the exception. They are the only country that's allowed to lobby Americans. Like everyone else has to register as, a foreign.
Yo, I just want you to, because people definitely, everybody has their different opinions and a way to break things down, whatever the case may be. I happen to like Candace Owens. I think she is definitely one of the few people who is very open-minded, very, she's very base, bro. Like, she is a person who does her research. She's not just giving you something of her feelings, bro. You know what I mean? So just pay attention to the things that she's talking about in the information.
Foreign agent
Like,
under FARA.
Like with AIPAC or whatever?
Yeah, so AIPAC, the backstory, by the way, before JFK got shot, he was fighting AIPAC. They were previously called, I'm blanking on this, you can look it up. And he was literally saying you have to register under the Foreign Act.
Is that true? Let's look it up.
1000% true, and you should look it up. We should fact check that live. He was fighting with what is today known as AIPAC. Was renamed AZCPA. I don't know what that stood for.
In 1959, AZCPA was renamed AIPAC, and American Israel Public Affairs Committee, reflecting a broader membership and mission.
Yeah, so JFK told them that they had to register under FARA. And so American Zionist Council, that's exactly what it was called.
Okay, American Zionist Council was a pro-Israel lobby in the United States founded in 1949. It represented 9 nationwide Zionist organizations in matters related.
See at the bottom there, in 1962, look at the last paragraph. In 1962,
President John F. Kennedy and his brother Bobby, as a U.S. Attorney General, forced the AZC to register as a foreign agent. In doing so, they were barred from making monetary contributions to U.S. officials. Who was barred? AZC?
Yeah, so AIPAC, for lack of a better term. They were called AZC back then, but continued to send out newsletters and hold events with a nonprofit tax exemption. Mm-hmm. And then what happened was he was shot. So he literally, they were writing him letters. You can find this. This is all this is available information. And he was like, you need to register, you need to register, you need to register. And then we told you to register. Why are you not registering? This makes no sense. And then AIPAC got lucky because he got shot and killed.
What also you could
So they are the reason why I'm bringing this up is not to further conspiracy theories.
Country?
They're the only country that's allowed to lobby Americans are not registered under the FARA Act. And so when you see these
under the
people,
what act?
FARA. So that's like if you're a foreign agent, you have to basically register, your communications are monitored, all of this stuff. But for whatever reason, Israel is an exception to this. And the reason is because JFK got shot, because otherwise they would have been under this. So that is the reason that they're allowed to do this. And so, when this, and then of course we're not allowed to read the files.
God damn it. All right, so for some reason, they are not going to let me play this. I got to figure this shit the fuck out, man. God damn it, man. All right, so you know what? I'm going to link this video for you to watch, right? But let's see. Let me see something. God damn it, man. All right, let's see if we can play this. It's all kind of aligns anyway. But let's just see. All right, let's see if we can play this. They don't shut me down when I play Candace, so I gotta figure that shit out, man. If anybody has any information on how you can, because I know you could reuse videos, but there's a way you got to do it or whatever. Even though I say I don't own the rights to I don't know. Maybe you got to have a certain amount of. Maybe you got to be monetized or something. Because I see people play direct video from channels, and obviously they have big channels, so maybe that's the reason. Maybe they get permission from these channels to play the videos. So let me make sure that we're good. So I took it down, so. But I'm gonna get into this other video. This is a long video. We're gonna try to play. Let me see. What's the time? All right, we got a little bit of time. We're gonna try to go halfway through this video. All right, let's get straight into it. This is I believe his name is N.G.L.A. He's on Candace's show though, and he's breaking down this whole BB Files documentary series thing that they are saying is like was out there, and then like now you can't get it or something like that. So let's get into it.
A lot of Americans and people around the world don't know enough about Benjamin Netanyahu's corruption trial. I mean, I didn't know enough about his corruption trial. And I didn't know before I started learning more that through understanding his corruption trial, you come to understand the current state of the Israeli government and the ultra right-wing party in power. And tragically, you gain a whole new perspective.
So if for some reason we have some trouble, what we'll do is, because I want to, if it does give me some problems, then I want to play this other video that we should be good on. But I will link all of these videos after this live. I will link all of these videos for you to look into yourself and form your own opinion on Bibi Netanyahu and this whole Israel thing and all of it.
A critical perspective on what's happening in Gaza and all the rest of Israel's military actions around its borders right now. And the best place for you to start, after you finish watching this video, of course, is with the documentary that was shortlisted for an Oscar nomination released last year, named The Bibi Files. It's one of the best documentaries you'll ever watch, and it includes leaked police interrogation footage, not only of Bibi and his wife, but also of Miriam and Sheldon Adelson, two of the most powerful Jewish political donors in the world. It has footage of the interrogation of Arnon Milchan, ex-Israeli spy and now Hollywood mogul, who stands at the center of the trial. And it has footage of Bibi's lifelong best friend, his former associates, his former personal assistant, his campaign manager, and a wide cast of Israeli sources. Miriam Adelson specifically says in one of the police interrogations, quote, "What can I say? If this comes out, I'm dead." Well, it got out. And then, mysteriously, it was pulled from all streaming platforms, basically wiped from the internet. Amazon Prime, where it had been available, simply showed this video is currently unavailable to watch in your location. But try using a VPN, and you will discover that it is unavailable to watch in any location. It's gone. Or at least, that is apparently what Bibi would like to happen. Except that, unfortunately for our boy Benjamin, the internet has a way of holding on to things, especially things that you try to bury. And we dug it up. And at the end of this segment, I'll show you where you can go to watch it today. Let's start, though, with just a brief intro from the documentary to get you feeling what we're feeling. Yeah, that's Miriam Adelson. Miriam Adelson donated $100 million to the Trump campaign in this election. She is one of the most powerful Jewish political donors in the world. But there's more. They also have Sheldon Adelson's deposition, and Miriam and Sheldon give their frank opinions of Bibi's wife, Sarah, who we will talk about. She's describing the type of political blackmail that the Netanyahus apparently, allegedly, take part in. You know, tit for tat, quid pro quo, little favor for favors, right? I just need another Tiffany & Co. necklace. I mean, what could go wrong, right? But before we get ahead of ourselves here, let's rewind a little bit. Let's rewind.
Yo, very good storyteller, but his mustache is killing me. It just looks so heavy. Like, it looks extremely heavy. Like, his lip is I'm sorry. My bad.
To sort of the beginning of this story. Netanyahu, Benjamin Netanyahu, was born in 1949 to secular Jewish parents, meaning non-religious. And that will become pretty important in just a moment.
Non-religious.
He is the longest serving prime minister in Israel's history, having served for a total of 17 years so far. That is 1996 to 99, again from 2009 to 2021, and then after a quick break, he was elected again in 2022. That last gap from 2021 to 2022 will become very important because that is where everything changed dramatically. But to understand that shift, you have to understand how much the power went to his head during his incredibly long time atop Israeli politics from 2009 to 2021.
Yo, real quick, off of what he just said, remember I said that I believe, like, this is my thoughts on politics in general. I believe that most people get into politics with great intentions, and that's why you could pull up videos of Nancy Pelosi and Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden, you know, agreeing with basically what Trump is saying now with, you know, illegal immigration. You know, Obama, the deporter in chief, but nobody said nothing. But now all of a sudden it's crazy that Trump is deporting people. And he's not, and mind you, he's letting people voluntarily leave, giving them $1,000, giving them a trip, a ticket to wherever they need to go. Like, that's not what Obama was doing. But that's off topic, but I'm just saying that I believe that most of these people get corrupt over time. Some people go into it corrupt, but I believe that a lot of them go into it with good intentions and then become corrupt because they realize that the system is bigger than them and they rather play ball than to, you know, say, you know, fuck it, you know, money talks, bro. And that's pretty much the name of all of this whole game is, you know, money, power, and interest, you know. And I've showed you videos of American presidents admitting that they have no true interest with Israel other than they're literally smack dead in the Middle East. But outside of that, they're not really even an ally, to be honest. Now, you know, obviously they would say that they are. So, but bro, you gotta just say to yourself, like, why are they going so hard for this country? Like, what benefits do we get out of this? What benefits do we get?
That is 12 consecutive years.
Shit gets deep.
That was throughout basically all of Obama's 2 terms and through Trump's first term. 18-year-olds serving in the IDF today have basically never known Israel without Bibi. And during that 12-year period, Bibi and his wife Sarah, who will become quite important in this story, became more. The initial investigations opened in 2016. But throughout those years prior, when he was the prime minister for so long, Netanyahu not only got away with a number of alleged corrupt acts, but he also formed many very powerful and lucrative friendships. Many of the wealthiest people in the world are Jewish, and many of them have interests in Israel. Benjamin and Sarah Netanyahu seemed to learn that they could live that glamorous lifestyle by receiving gifts from their billionaire friends. And Sarah Netanyahu is apparently quite involved in all the crimes and controversy in a fundamental way. I'm going to turn it back over to the documentary to fill you in. She just seems like a really wonderful lady. And if you noticed, I was reading very exaggerated because she is talking intense. Like, all the interview footage of her is intense. And it turns out that there's a reason why it's so intense. And I'll just, again, let the documentary describe champagne. And it turns out that she takes a lot of glasses of champagne, it sounds like. And it turns out that her favorite champagne is pretty expensive. And they've racked up quite the bill that's not a bill because it was being provided by all of their rich friends over and over and over as some sort of gift or favor. And notice how the housekeeper, he said that Bibi knows everything. He has a very sharp mind, apparently. But not so sharp when it comes to remembering all the gifts that him and his wife received over the years. So anyways, in 2016, Israeli investigators opened up this investigation into the Netanyahus and their wealthy friends. And in America, unfortunately,
this shit it's crazy, bro. It's really not even hard to find any of this information, bro. It's out there. So for me, it's just, I don't know why I'm stuck on this Officer Tatum dude in this whole situation, because I'm just, I wish I could play all of the videos, like, because I wanted to go into the, actually, I might do that. Actually might play that. Let's play a little bit more of this. But, recently they had, I gotta find it. They had, Officer Tatum came out, I think yesterday or today or yesterday, and he came out with this letter that so-called Charlie Kirk wrote to Israel, to Bibi Netanyahu specifically. And it was a long letter, so I'll find a copy of it and you can read it. But for me, it's like so convenient that, I'm not even gonna play it, bro. I'm gonna just play I'm gonna put these links in the description. But it's just so convenient how you're a Christian, right? And the very people who crucified your God, you're going to bat for, like, you're batting 1,000. Like, it's crazy. You had the guy on your show, and it's proven that this dude is super corrupt, which isn't shocking for politicians, to be honest with you. Most of them are. And, Trump included. Trump did shady shit in his life. Big facts, So that's not really super crazy to me. The thing is, the lengths that this dude specifically has gone to be able to do the things that he's doing right now. And right now, as we speak, they have this so-called peace deal with Hamas, right? And, in Gaza, but and now they're giving them a time restriction to come to the table and agree to this deal. But notice when you seen them talk, when I played the conference, you seen Trump and you seen Bibi Netanyahu. You didn't see the leaders of Hamas or Gaza, right? Because pretty much Hamas, because they pretty much were the ones who were in control of Gaza. So you didn't see Hamas come to the table and agree to this deal. So that's why I said that it sounds like a setup for them to pretty much annihilate Hamas and the, Palestinian people, to be honest with you. Yo, you got to read the Talmud too, bro. It gets wicked, bro. The stuff that they have, pretty much brainwashed all of their, following with is crazy. It's crazy, but that's another story. All right, let's get some more of this.
It sounds kind of toothless. We've seen our politicians investigated occasionally, but never in recent memory has a president or high-ranking official faced any real justice or accountability for corruption, let alone the borderline treason that we've seen over the years. But Israel, to their credit, actually has a legit history of putting their politicians in prison when they were found guilty in a court of law. In the past 20 years, they have imprisoned a minister of finance, a president, and a prime minister for crimes like corruption, bribery, lying under oath, and rape. They've imprisoned more than that, but these are just the three biggest names. Every government struggles with corruption, and Israel is certainly no exception to that rule. Avraham Horshin, the minister of finance from 2006 to 2007, was convicted in 2009 of embezzling millions of shekels and other financial corruption. He was sentenced to 5 years and 5 months, plus a small fine. In 2010, Moshe Katsav, the 8th president of Israel, was convicted of rape, sexual harassment, committing an indecent act while using force, harassing a witness, and obstruction of justice. He was sentenced to 7 years and wound up serving about 5. In 2014, former Prime Minister Ehud Olmert was sentenced to 6 years in prison. After appeals and continued trials, he wound up with a sentence for 27 months in prison, of which he wound up serving about 16, plus paying a small fine for corruption, much like what Netanyahu is accused of. So, yeah, they still mostly got off easier, but they didn't get off clean. There is plenty of precedent for Netanyahu and his wife Sarah going to prison if he is convicted for the crimes he is accused of. And the evidence shown in the BB Files documentary alone is quite compelling. Hence why it is not available to stream on any mainstream platforms right now. Netanyahu stands accused of 3 separate but related offenses, titled Case 1000, 2000, and 4000. And I don't know who the hell comes up with these names. I don't write the rules. I just work here. They have dumb names. But Case 1000 revolves around Benjamin Netanyahu receiving a 20-year supply of gifts from ex-Israeli spy turned Hollywood tycoon Arnon Milchan, in exchange for illicit government favors like extending a tax loophole that would have saved him millions of dollars, pressuring John Kerry for help with Milchan's visas, and interceding on behalf of Milchan's investments.
Says Hollywood producer admits he was an Israeli spy. I think America might be the most infiltrated country in the world, bro. Seriously.
Using Netanyahu's government authority. All the types of things that Israel has jailed officials for in the past. And by the way, Arnon Milchan openly bragged about his time as an Israeli spy when he helped Israel steal nuclear technology from the US for their secret nuclear program that they aren't supposed to have and still officially do not. That's actually tied into why Bibi had to help him deal with the visa issues, but that's a different rabbit hole. Case 2000 involves Netanyahu's relationship with the publisher and controlling owner of one of the most popular Israeli newspaper publications, Yedioth Aharonoth. His name is Arnon Moses. The allegation is that Netanyahu was trading political favors for positive media coverage of him and his wife. This is especially concerning because the relationship came into focus surrounding the 2016 election, where the two allegedly collaborated to weaken Netanyahu's opponent and presumably win him the election. Who knows if he would have won without this corrupted media slant in his direction, but that's concerning. Case 4000 is pretty similar to Case 2000. It involves Netanyahu forming a similar relationship with the owner of one of Israel's top online news platforms named N.G.L.A. He used it to run positive coverage of him and his wife, as well as negative coverage of his opponents. Basically, Netanyahu has allegedly fashioned himself more and more over the years as the supreme ruler of Israel, and he has wielded his power to corrupt the media, exchange favors, and enrich his family through his position of power. Even Bibi's son, Yair, got in on dictating content to N.G.L.A, that news site, and let's just say that Yair has some extreme views. I'm going to show a clip from the documentary for this.
Dictatorship to me, man. We're going to leave it at that. I'm going to link the rest. I'm going to link this video, man. Definitely go and watch that video. Dope video. It's on Candace's channel, but I'm going to link it in the description. Very dope. I wanted to see something real quick. So, okay, this is it. I want to play this real quick.
A conduit to groups like, which can include social media.
So let's rewind this.
Talk about some of these statements. Later. And it says, is Israel an apartheid state? Why do Israel conduct ethnic cleansing?
All right, so
it can help you and your country push back against these.
I'm not going to play this whole thing, but it's just weird to me.
Before he died, and Benjamin Netanyahu came out on television and referenced this letter when he gave condolences to Charlie Kirk's family and Charlie Kirk and his legacy. There were people that came out and said that the letter was a lie and that Charlie really hated Benjamin Netanyahu, and he wrote a letter to Benjamin Netanyahu telling him to go screw himself pretty much, and that he don't support him anymore. That was the sentiment that was floating on the internet. But here is Benjamin Netanyahu's the letter that he received from Charlie Kirk. I did my due diligence to try to verify this as best as I can. It was posted by the New York Post, And a lot of the people that I know, they had made inferences that they have knowledge greater than mine, that this is authenticated. Okay. And if it's somehow not, I'll tell you it's not. But right now, it seems like it's being shared all over the internet, shared by major platforms. It seems.
How convenient. How convenient. How convenient it is that that right after Charlie Kirk dies, now this letter so-called appears. I think that's crazy. But like,
Prime Minister Netanyahu, welcome
just
to
look
the show.
at
Thank you
these.
for coming on. I know that you guys had some crazy circumstances going on over there in Israel with bombs coming in, and so I thank you for coming on and doing this.
It's crazy.
Doing this anyway. There are people who believe
of Christianity. In all these sites, people could walk and do walk in the footsteps of Jesus. Christians are not merely tolerated in Israel. They're welcomed as a treasure of our common Judeo-Christian heritage. And Israel is the only place in the Middle East where Christians are safe, because throughout the Middle East, churches are bombed, Christians are killed, as happened in Syria, murdered mercilessly, and elsewhere. And in Israel, we are brothers. And, we have, I think, 300 Christmas trees that have been brought to Jerusalem to enable Christians to celebrate Christmas. I visit Christian communities all the time. We welcome them. Many of them, by the way, serve in our military, brave defenders. And I'll give you an example of what happens when we're not here. Under the Oslo Accords, we gave Bethlehem.
Watch them look down.
I don't have to explain what Bethlehem is, do I, Brandon? I mean, it's a holy place for the Christians. Well, when we were there for decades, the Christian community was 80% of the population, and the Muslim community was 20%, actually less than 20%. We left it, we gave it to the Palestinian Authority, the Muslim Palestinian Authority. Now, a few decades later, the numbers are exactly reversed. There are 80% Muslims in Bethlehem and less than 20% Christians. They've basically been booted out. So it's good to be a Christian in Israel. It's bad to be a Christian outside of Israel in the Middle East. Not everywhere. Some places they're more tolerated more than elsewhere, in some of the Gulf states, for example. But this is what characterizes us. We cherish the holy places, the freedom to worship, the fact that people have different faiths, different beliefs. We not only tolerate it, we treasure it and we protect it.
Prime Minister, there's a sentiment of, I guess, mistreatment of Christians in Gaza from Israel. People point to the Catholic Church that was bombed in Gaza. They also point to the Christians who live in Gaza now that are refusing to leave, even after giving an order to leave the area, because obviously there's going to be military operations there. What do you say to the naysayers who are saying that Christians may be safe in Israel proper, but they're not safe in Gaza, and that there's no regard for Christianity and holy sites in Gaza?
Well, first of all, there are very few numbers of Christians in Gaza because Hamas is a tyranny. It's a terrorist tyranny that wants to not only murder all the Jews, but it doesn't accept Christianity. It doesn't accept other faiths. It doesn't even accept other.
Can't continue to listen to the bullshit. It's crazy, bro. So, like, let me finish out with saying, bro, that, watching that, it just goes to show you propaganda is very real, bro. And Officer Tatum is just another tool used to push it, And we showed you a video on the Hodge twins, who are not biased brothers at all. Very open-minded dudes. That's why I fuck with the channel. And listen, bro, I fuck with Officer Tatum. I fuck with what he's, but I just don't fuck with when it comes to this. When it comes to this, I don't fuck with it at all. And I think he's just a tool. honestly, I'm starting to think that maybe he was even paid to push this, because the lengths that he's going to stick up for Israel, is crazy to me. And, just flat out lying. Like, just flat out lying, bro. like, like the way that they try to make it seem like if you're a Christian and you live in, wherever in any Arab country, that you're just going to be crucified or fucking killed or beheaded is just a lie, bro. And, it's just a lie, bro. And in some cases, with extremists, that can happen anywhere. And look at them, the Jew children that the Hodge twins showed the video of. Literally, they love Christianity so much, right? They're so welcome into Christianity, but yet they were literally spitting on women that were Christian. The children were. So, and then you seeing the adults too, basically attacking them. And so like, bro, it's all a facade, bro. It's fake. It's straight lie. Straight lies, bro. And the more and more I look and go down this rabbit hole with this guy, Bibi Netanyahu, I realized that this dude is very, 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 very corrupt. Super corrupt. And the agenda is, and listen, even Charlie Kirk said it, they're going to try to ethnically cleanse Gaza. That's like what it is, bro. And so I don't know if I can spell this right, but let me see something. Let me see something real quick. So to ethnically cleanse means to use force or intimidation to remove a specific ethnic or religious group from a given area to make it ethnically homogeneous. Homogeneous. Uh, I don't know if I got that right. This practice is a violation of the international law and a crime against humanity. A crime against humanity. The ultimate goal is not necessarily mass murder, but the forcible removal of a population. However, the methods used often involve violent atrocities. Violent atrocities that can lead to mass killings and, in extreme cases, overlap with genocide, right? So, I almost can remember Charlie Kirk saying this on Patrick Bet-David's podcast, saying that they're going to try to ethnically cleanse Gaza, right? So things are just not adding up, bro. They're not adding up. And even with Charlie Kirk, go tap in with Candace Owens. Maybe I'll do some. Matter of fact, I'll show that tomorrow. We'll go live tomorrow and talk about. She has been going ape shit on this whole Charlie Kirk thing, and she's not buying it. And listen, bro, she has some. Listen, I love people who do real journalism, bro, and really break shit down. I would never consider myself to be a journalist. I just talk about these stories and things that just ain't adding up to me. And it's just my opinion. And you should never take what I say as fact and the gospel. Just go and do your own research on things that I say. Links that I'll post, check out the videos. But, Candace Owens is a person who is, you're not just going to, you're just not going to piss on her and tell her it's raining. It's not going to happen. Like she's like the wrong person to like bullshit, because she is going to go into everything about anything, any situation. And she's doing that on this whole Charlie Kirk assassination. There's a lot of people outside of even Candace who is basically speculating that the feds are lying, that this is a cover up, that this is bigger than we think. And then how conveniently, just saying, how convenient that a letter appears and Officer Tatum is pushing it on his channel. This letter appears and it's allegedly from Charlie Kirk to Bibi Netanyahu. And, you know, it's just so convenient that Charlie Kirk isn't here to defend this. And on top of that, Candace made a very good point that, you know, that I don't know if she's right about this, and maybe I'll look into it. But when she said it to me, I kind of was like, maybe she's on to something. But she mentioned that why is she the only basically like big influencer who is questioning the story behind Charlie Kirk's assassination? She was saying even Turning Point USA isn't questioning these, you know, convincing arguments, I should say. You know, so, it's crazy, bro. This shit get deep, bro. It gets so deep, bro. It's crazy and it's wild, bro. But how convenient that there's a letter from Charlie Kirk to Bibi Netanyahu. And everybody, I looked at the comments, and the comments is like, it sounds just like Charlie Kirk. God bless Charlie Kirk. Sounds just like him. Verbatim what he would say. So it's weird, bro. It's so weird. Why hasn't, if this letter was allegedly sent out before Charlie Kirk's assassination, why hasn't this been public? It's kind of weird, bro. I don't know. I'm gonna look more into this whole thing, man. But we're gonna tap in with Candace again tomorrow. Obviously, she was on her show. I think his name is N.G.L.A. But I'm gonna post some links to some videos you should check out. Let me know what you guys think about this whole Bibi Netanyahu Israel relationship with the United States, and why they're so like you know, even with the nuclear weapons thing, like about how, you know, they're making sure, you know, Iran doesn't have nuclear capabilities, and allegedly, you know, but, you know, certain countries, we are able to go in and make sure that they do not have these nuclear capabilities. And, but for some reason, Israel just is off limits. Like, you can't go there. You can't check to see if they have these nuclear weapons. And on top of that, we don't know. We just don't know. They say they don't have nuclear capabilities, but there's speculation that there is. And it's weird, bro. The weird relationship is crazy. But hey, man, we'll see what comes out of all of this. But yeah, man, that's the show for today, man. Make sure you let me know what you guys think. Drop a comment down below. If this is all weird to you, or if you think that this is just how it should go, you know? If you agree with, you know, what's going on in Palestine, you know, and whatever your opinion is, drop it down low, leave a comment. Make sure you like the video. And also hit that notification bell so you get notified every time your boy drop a dope video, man. I'm on my way. I'm on the drive. I'm driving. I'm doing about 50, but I'm trying to go 100. On my way to getting monetized, man. So please help your boy get monetized by hitting that subscribe button. I truly do appreciate it. Everybody that does tap in with me. It's not many. It's few, but I truly do appreciate it. It's dope. And hey, man, hit that subscribe button. It costs you nothing. But that's the show for today, man. This is your boy, SL550. This is the Never Gonna Lose Again podcast. Till tomorrow, man. I'm out.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams. I know niggas who played ball and gave it up for lean.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams, but my account in overdraft, I'm about to scream.
Rich man greed,
a poor man prayers.
Every man bleeds,
but look how God made us.
Too many losses, it's only right that we win. Yeah, I made a promise I'm never gonna lose again.